How many of you were pumped up to watch El Camino? First 10 minutes was great. Skinny Pete, Badger, although they looked like they were 10 years older. But then slowly just went downhill. Within 45 minutes, I found myself checking NFL news on my phone and just basically had it on in the background. Sometimes missing parts. Sometimes I'd walk out of my room, wouldn't even rewind it to go back and see. It just it didn't hold my interest. It was like a bunch of intertwined little mini stories of Jesse. Flashbacks. Some with Todd were like awkward. It was like almost like Todd was gonna fuck him. It seemed like it was like weird, man. And then he had a chance to escape, but he was worried about Brock. Fuck Brock. He should have escaped. At one point, they made it look like he had that one disease where you get captured and you hook with your bond, or with your people that capture you have a bond with them or something. It was just, I forget what it's called. It was very disappointing. I mean, Vincent Daniel Gilligan, I thought it was going to be a lot better. And I mean, Breaking Bad was the greatest show ever. But how many of you felt the same way I did? I really didn't think. I'll give it a scale of 1 to 10. I'll give it a 6 at best, only because it had Breaking Bad in it, kind of. But no Saul Goodman. It just, nothing. I mean, I thought it was going to, but the first 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, this got a chance to be good. And now, if it was good, I'd be sitting there like looking, oh man, I hope it ain't over yet. But it was like, I didn't even, in fact, the last 10 minutes when he was in the car, I actually fast forwarded. I didn't even give a fuck. Very, very disappointed. I thought this was going to be like some kind of epic. It almost felt like it was rushed. And I don't think that was the case. I don't think it was. I thought it was going to go a totally different way. I thought it was going to be like Jesse finally talking to the police. I thought it was going to be more police involvement. Basically, just showed him trying to get money to go to the vacuum cleaning guy and to get to Alaska, whatever. Now, it did leave it open for a series with Jesse down the road. Like, I could see like a 4 or 5 year series with Jesse's, living in Alaska, and then finally wants to reconnect with his old people, get back to Jesse Pinkman, wants to see his old family and wants to clear his name with the police, tell his side of the story. I could see it getting back to that. Now that would be an entertaining series if Vincent Daniel Gilligan took it that way, but this here was a total failure. I mean, as much hype as I heard and then one scene where a Skinny Pete was like, I'm not going to tell you that when he was being interrogated, that wasn't even in the goddamn show. Wasn't even in the fucking show. Unless it was one of the times when I walked out of the room because, like I said, I was on my phone half the movie. It just wasn't good enough for me. So I know I'm probably in the minority, but there's no way anyone could sit there and say that was great. It was average. It was okay. Am I glad I watched it? Yeah. Would I have paid to watch it? No. No, hell no. I'd be pissed if I paid to watch that. But anyway, maybe I'm in the minority here. I gave it like maybe a 6 at best, El Camino. I didn't think it was that good. Very disappointed. And we all know Vincent Gilligan gave us Breaking Bad, which is the greatest show. Only show that could be better than that show by Vincent Daniel Gilligan is if I made a show. That's the only way it could happen. So, and I was a big Breaking Bad fan. But everybody looked so much older than they were, too. And it was just far-fetched. I don't know. It was like a bunch of like little angles. These guys, you think they're DEA and they're not. I don't know. We could have basically done without this show, Vincent.